cash is gone, the next step will be, I mean, they're pushing already to take everyone's wealth away. I mean, they've been doing that, conniving behind the scenes, that kind of stuff. But once they got cash totally taken away out of it, it's going to be easy. It's going to be simple. It's going to be, they're going to do it hands down. I mean, they're going to full force. Because once they got people in a box, there's no escaping that, and they got total control then. At least that's how they'll feel, and I have a feeling they're going to have, for the most part. So anyways, I want to talk about this and just get people thinking, as always. Think about this. It started with the gold and silver standard, basically the gold standard. All right, our currency was based on the gold standard. It was all, there was so much gold out there, and we had some sort of, ratio to it, and that's what we recognized. You could go into any bank you wanted and give them your receipts, your slips, or your dollars, or your fiat, and you get gold back for it. So it started with the gold standard, then a fiat standard based on a percentage of gold. So it wasn't equivalent ratio there. Now it was like a percentage there with, I believe that was in the 1930s-ish. They started to implement that kind of stuff. And then 1971, August 15th, then Nixon took us completely off any sort of gold standard, any sort of ratio of the dollar and gold having any relationship. And we were on 100% fiat standard. That was it. It was all fake, all paper. It had no real intrinsic value to it. So we're getting off the gold standard. All right, we were getting off the gold standard. Then we went to a paper, fiat backed by gold. Then we went to just a paper backed by nothing at all. After it was backed by a small percentage, it's backed by nothing. It was just paper currency. And then we're paper currency again backed by nothing, and every other paper currency around the world. At that time, once we went to having zero gold backing on our currency, everyone else was just backed on us, the Federal Reserve currency, that was not backed by anything. So it was all just a floating paper fiat standard. That's gone on since 1971. So what happens to a house of cards? I mean, eventually it crumbles because there's nothing supporting it. There's no groundwork. There's nothing. There's no foundation. But we're soon to be digits only. There's going to be not even paper. Even paper has a little value to it. You can use it to wipe your nose. You can use it to write notes on. You can use it to start a fire. That still, on the lowest level, still has some very small use case. It's not worth, the ink that it's printed on, and it's worth nothing compared to the value people and governments put on it, but it still has a little bit of something there. It can burn. You can start a fire with it. You can wipe your nose, or your rear end with it, that kind of stuff. So it still had even the most minimum use case to it, something like a leaf, would. And toilet paper, tissue paper. Once we're fully digital, there's nothing there. It's completely just non-existent. I have this thing I want to show you. This thing here is a DS. It's my son's old DS. And on here you could play Super Mario Brothers. I don't know what he has in here now, but you could play Super Mario Brothers. And Super Mario Brothers had coins. You'd go through certain levels, that kind of stuff. You'd get these coins built up. Once you got, I believe, 100 of them, you got a free life. On the older ones, I'm not sure on the newer, games, on the newer systems, that kind of stuff. But they had some sort of value to them. Even with Zelda, I believe that game, you got some sort of coins, or jewels or whatever it was, and you could purchase items within the game for that. And I know this is just a standard thing that happens around, a lot of games. But think of it this way: those digital coins in Super Mario Brothers, those digital coins, are no different than the digits that you're going to get for working, putting your labor in. Working 8 hours a day, whatever you're working. You're going to get digits. That's it. Digits that are the same thing that's on Super Mario Brothers or any other video game for that matter. They don't exist. They're just on the computer. They're just on the system. That's it. Yeah, sure, you might have it, in your iPhone or your, smartphone, but they don't exist. It's no different than what's the coins in this, DS system. They don't exist, except they're only useful for that game. I mean, even the Mario Brothers coins in Super Mario Brothers are not even useful in Zelda game. They're not even useful for that. They're just useful for this. And then people say, well, they're going to have a one world currency, and then you're going to be able to use what you get in the U.S. down in Brazil or over in, Russia or over in, Europe. I think that's a pipe dream. But even if that's the case, it doesn't matter because you're working and you have nothing. It shows nothing. Like I said, even this, you can burn it. You can light it on fire. I mean, even if people don't accept this for anything, you can still blow your nose in it. It still has the smallest amount of use. But it has a use. Versus digits. Digits, I don't see anything. If you sign into your account, it shows you have digits. They may tell you you have digits, but that means nothing. You don't own those things. You don't operate those things. You don't control those things. They do. Whoever's in control of the digits, they have the control. You have no say. So if you're due for taxes, theft, I call it, they'll just take it right out. You got $100 in your account, if you're back in your taxes, boom, boom. You got $100 in your account, you got a speeding ticket, well, they'll just take it right out. They'll put you to zero, and now you're negative, 115 or whatever, how much the ticket was. That's going to happen. That's reality. So people are getting this. With this, you can still buy these things. These things, let me take it out. These things, you can still purchase these. This is silver. It's just a generic round. This is a buffalo. That's all it is. It's a buffalo. A generic round, 1 ounce, 1 troy ounce. You can still purchase these with your fiat, with the digits you have now. There's going to come a time that I feel that you're not going to be able to use your digits to purchase these things. These. There's 20 here. This is a roll of those. So I guess you got to think about it. Would you rather have this, which is a real use case? Silver's used for a whole bunch of stuff in the industry for a bunch, and it has a real value to it. You can't digitize this, and it has a digital value to it. I mean, they have, and that's why if you are on the stock market buying silver, it's not this. If you're not holding it, you're not owning it. And by holding it doesn't mean you have to store everything in your house. I don't store what I have at my house. I have a vault, that stores it off-site. But anyways, if you're not able to hold it, you're not able to own it. And digits, they're as real as a dream. It's ridiculous. So, would you rather have, we'll say, 25 of these paper things? 25, the equivalent of digits for 25 of these paper things? Or 25 of these things? Or, wait a minute, 20 of these things? I mean, the choice there between these two and the invisible digits that you can't see here, you got to think about this stuff because you're working. You're really working and putting your labor there for digits that you can't see. They don't exist. It's not real. It's not real. It's as real as Super Mario Brothers digits. So just think about this. People were working for real-time items. They were. For barter. Then they were working for gold and silver. Then they could exchange with. Then paper backed by gold. Then paper backed by a percentage of gold. Then just paper. Now they can be working for these imaginary digits, and I may say imaginary because they're as real as a dream, like I said, just like they're working for digits that are as real as you don't see them, you can't use them unless you turn this thing on and you put the Super Mario Brothers game in there. Then you'll see those digits or those coins. They're as real as that. So nothing's tangible about these digits. Nothing you can hold, touch. Nothing that has any actual use. And I've talked about this. You can't use it for anything, period. So I mean, that's all I had to say about this. But it's just ridiculous that this is getting any sort of grip, any sort of traction, and it's going to happen. They're putting us into this thing. And like I said, within 6 months, it sounds like it's going to be fully, if not fully implemented, it's going to be on its way real fast. But anyways, if you like this, thanks for watching. If you like this, like, share, subscribe. And as always, stay vigilant, protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health, and protect your wealth.